Chris in Chicago, you're up.
All right. Thank you so much, John. It's a pleasure speaking with you. You and I have very, very similar backgrounds in athletics, and I've been fortunate to speak to some college baseball teams myself. And I assume, was it Jack Leggett you were with Clemson when you
No,
spoke? Monty Lee?
Monty.
Yeah, I know those guys real well because I coached at Iowa. But nevertheless, I too, like you, believe in the power of positive thinking and whatnot. But I think as a leader, and due to recent experiences, I also think we have a responsibility to acknowledge reality and some of the significant impacts that all of us have had in our lives that impact that ability to think positively, that do require things like medication and therapy and some of the services that are available to better our mental health aside from the power of positive thinking. So what role do you think that has? And then what responsibility do you think you have in ensuring and advocating that folks think so as well?
Chris, I think it's interesting that you said that you brought up positivity and then brought to reality as if positivity is not reality. So right there, the premise I think is something I don't really fully agree with, because being positive doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you maintain optimism, belief, and faith in order to create a better reality. It means that you have hope for the future, which gives you power in the present to take one more action today. I would argue that positivity is the competitive advantage, because positive leaders are able to overcome their situation and their circumstances to move forward. Pessimists don't change the world. It's the optimist. It's the people who believe. It's those who confront their challenges. So this is not about ignoring challenges or ignoring the pains of the past. I think I have every responsibility, and so do you, and we all do, to acknowledge the wounds that people have experienced and the traumas of their past, and know that that's part of why they are struggling and what they're dealing with. And you'll find most addictions are many ways tied to wounds of the past and traumas and so forth. So understanding the whole holistic message and the whole holistic being of a human experience is very important. And understanding the healing that needs to take place is essential. And so everyone has a wound and everyone has a hole in their soul. And everyone has a wound that needs to be healed on this journey. There's no doubt about that. Patrick Lencioni, I just did an event together in Dallas, and we spent the whole afternoon, not planned, on wounds and healing with 75 top leaders from around the country and the world talking about this. Like, they didn't want to talk about business. They didn't want to talk about cost benefits analysis. They wanted to talk about wounds and healing, which is so important. So, but understanding how thoughts work are essential, and understanding medications and how medications affect the brain are essential, and knowing when to use them and when not to use them and not overprescribing them is also really essential. So those are all big factors. Where you just go see a doctor because you're struggling with anxiety and they say, take a pill. That may not be the best thing. It usually isn't the best thing to do right away. Understanding how thoughts work are essential. Talking to a 16-year-old who was suicidal in the ER 2 nights before, and going out seeing psychiatrists and doctors. And I knew his mom. I said, let me talk to him. In one session, after teaching him the one truth and how negative thoughts work, because he was beating himself up for the negative thoughts in his head. Once he understood that he was the hero in his own epic story, and that every hero will have to overcome negativity and challenges to define themselves and create their future and ultimately save the world. Every hero will have to overcome that. You have to do it with positivity to overcome negativity. Everything changed with this young man because he stopped beating himself up. He realized the thoughts were not coming from him. He didn't have to listen to the lies that they were telling him. He started speaking truth to the lies. And I reached out to him just the other day. It's been over a year now. How you doing? Doing great, Mr. Gordon. High state of mind. The next day after talking to him, his parents said, what did you do? He's fine. I just share with him the truth. Done this with a number of kids recently, number of teenagers, because I have a lot of friends who read the one truth. Their kids are struggling, and I will talk to them. I don't charge for that. I'll talk to them. And seeing this, we need a new paradigm shift. We need to give mental health professionals better tools to deal with the epidemic that we're dealing with, because more people are struggling than ever, suffering than ever, and we're prescribing more medications than ever, and we're seeing more doctors than ever, and yet it's still getting worse. So clearly we're not addressing the problem that exists. So we have every responsibility to provide the tools that is necessary and to talk about this in this way. And I feel like I've taken on the major responsibility of doing that. Be a lot easier for me just to keep writing my, positive books, keep selling millions of copies there, instead of writing a one truth book that is very deep and profound. And I really feel like addresses the problem and the issue, but I felt called to do it. I had to do it. So I hope that answers your question, but yes, positivity and reality coexist. And Dr. Amen and I got in a big argument on this on my podcast because he had a post where he said that positive thinking, he goes, I don't believe in positive thinking. He goes, that's like eating the third hamburger and think it won't make you gain weight. I said, Dr. Amen, that's not positive thinking. That's stupid thinking. There's no such thing as positive thinking associated with that. So to me, you can tell I'm getting fired up about this. I feel like it's my job to talk about real positivity. And I think too many people think about positivity as roll your eyes positivity or toxic positivity or fake positivity. And people don't address the issues. Positive leaders are demanding. They're not demeaning. Positive leaders practice love and accountability. They love their teams, but they hold them accountable to their standards. Positive leaders pursue excellence because they believe the best is yet to come. They take the actions necessary to create the best outcome. Positive teams come together and work together, address their issues, their challenges, and work to get better from that. So my hope is that positivity, real positivity, leads to greater healing. And in the One Truth, I wrote about the wounds that we have and how we are meant to heal the wounds. That's the whole journey of life. Heal the wounds, grow from that healing, and now go heal others. Healed people help and heal others. Hurt people hurt others. And that's why we need to heal. Thanks,
Scott,
Chris.
you were recording that, right? John, I couldn't have said it better. And you absolutely have an ally in me in that thinking. So
Thanks, Chris.
so
I
thank you for that answer.
appreciate that question big time.
Dan,
Thanks,
the
Chris.
man. Dan used to work for our mutual friend, Jesse Itzler.